The general stood like a monument carved from arrogance. His uniform was heavy with medals, each one polished to blind anyone who dared look too closely. His voice thundered across the military command center, sharp enough to cut steel. He was shouting at Captain Ibrahim Traoré, reducing him to nothing more than a reckless rookie in front of hundreds of officers. Every insult echoed off the concrete walls. No one moved. No one breathed. Careers had been destroyed in this room for less. Yet Ibrahim didn't flinch. He didn't argue. He didn't defend himself. While the general raged, Ibrahim's gaze drifted downward to the table between them. A small detail. A careless mistake. Something everyone else had ignored. In that single heartbeat, the balance of power quietly shifted, though no one realized it yet. The heat in Ouagadougou that morning was merciless. The sun beat down on the central military base, turning the tarmac into a shimmering mirror. Ibrahim arrived in a dusty jeep, alone. No sirens. No escort. He stepped out calmly, adjusted his red beret, and took in the base with practiced eyes. While senior officers rushed toward air-conditioned offices, Ibrahim chose the longer path. He walked past the barracks. Soldiers were preparing for duty. Their faces were hard, tired, disciplined. Ibrahim stopped and observed. Boots with cracked soles. Laces tied together because replacements never came. Rifles reinforced with black tape. A young sergeant tried to hide his worn-out shoes. Ibrahim said nothing, but his silence was heavier than words. He saw the truth written in their equipment. Inside the command hall, the atmosphere was completely different. Cool air. Expensive cologne. Fresh coffee. Leather chairs creaked as high-ranking officers laughed and checked their watches. This was not the world of the infantry. This was a world of comfort. At the front stood General Diop. Tall, loud, untouchable, known as much for his luxury villas as his temper. Behind him hung the national flag, but it felt decorative, like a prop for a performance. Diop spoke confidently about modernization, about progress. Charts flashed behind him showing millions spent on cutting-edge equipment. Night vision systems, armored vehicles, tactical gear. According to him, the army had never been stronger. No one challenged him. Heads nodded. Pens scribbled. Fear filled the gaps between applause. Ibrahim sat in the back, silent. He didn't look at the charts. He watched Diop's hands. He listened to what wasn't being said. When Diop dismissed reports of shortages as enemy propaganda, he smiled, expecting approval. That's when Ibrahim raised his hand. The room froze. Diop's smile vanished. Annoyance replaced confidence. "Captain Traoré," he said coldly, "make it quick. We have important engagements." Ibrahim stood. His voice was calm, steady, and sharp enough to slice through the room. He repeated the budget figures. 5 million allocated for boots and protective gear. Delivered last month, according to the report. Then he asked a simple question. Why were soldiers outside wearing sandals? Why were rifles held together with tape? If the equipment exists, where is it? The tension exploded. Diop's face turned dark with rage. He mocked Ibrahim publicly, belittled his experience, dismissed him as an uneducated field officer. Laughter followed from the front rows, men who benefited from silence. They believed the captain had overstepped. They believed he was finished. Ibrahim didn't argue. He picked up his beret and turned to leave. That's when he stopped. Near the exit stood a display of new equipment. A crate placed for show. Ibrahim leaned in and noticed a shipping label peeling off the side. Half torn. Carelessly left. He read the code once. His expression hardened. The truth wasn't just corruption, it was betrayal. Back in his office, Ibrahim worked quietly. The laughter from the meeting still echoed in his mind. He traced the serial number. The shipment didn't lead to any international supplier. It led to a shell company registered to a residential address in the capital. The owner, the general's cousin. While Diop celebrated in a luxury restaurant, bragging about crushing a junior officer, Ibrahim prepared to move. That night, he took 2 loyal soldiers and drove an unmarked truck to the main supply depot. The guards recognized him. He ate with them. He trained with them. They let him pass. Inside the warehouse, rows of official crates stood stacked like monuments to power. Ibrahim pried one open. Rocks. Another, rusted parts painted black. Another, bricks and sawdust. Millions stolen. Soldiers left defenseless. This isn't corruption, Ibrahim said quietly. This is blood money. He sealed the crates back. Exposure needed timing. The next morning, under cameras and flags, Diop arrived like royalty. Diplomats applauded. Speeches flowed. The crates stood proudly behind him. The lie was almost complete. Then Ibrahim stepped forward. He asked one question that cornered the general in front of the world. Why not open a crate and show the quality promised? Cameras zoomed in. Wood cracked. The lid lifted. Rocks. Painted. Heavy. Undeniable. The silence was brutal. These are your lies, Ibrahim said calmly. Diop screamed for arrests. But soldiers didn't move. One young corporal lowered his weapon. Then another. Authority dissolved in real time. Diop was taken away in disgrace. That night, mercenaries arrived with money and threats. Ibrahim refused both. Outside his office stood hundreds of infantry soldiers, the men with broken boots. Loyalty cannot be bought when dignity stands guard. The final attack came silently. Payroll accounts drained. Chaos planned. Ibrahim didn't flee. He stood before the troops and told the truth. No money. No promises. Only purpose. The army stood with him. The corrupt system collapsed. Assets seized. Justice enforced. Months later, the general broke stones on a road crew. No rank, no privilege. Ibrahim refused promotion. Titles didn't matter. Trust did. And that is how a single man, who noticed the smallest details, dismantled an empire of lies, and proved that truth doesn't need volume. It only needs courage.